Hi there, this is Nick coming at you on the Get Me Off Grid video blog. That's right, this is a fundraising blog to help to raise funds to get me completely and utterly off grid. What I'm going to do is tell you a bit about myself and why I am the ideal person to do this particular project. My history about this goes way back to my childhood, my early childhood in the 70s. There was a TV show here in the UK, you may have heard of it, it's called The Good Life. That was the thing which really inspired me initially for the possibility of going completely self-sufficient. And it's about these people living in a suburban environment who basically decide to leave work and just basically farm their land and look after themselves. They have a generator installed and all that kind of jazz. And it was really cool at that time. Anyway, further on down the line in life, I just spent more time finding out about alternative technology, and I found out about electricity and wiring and how electricity generation can occur. Later on in my life, I read the book The Autonomous House, which basically helped to feed the dream very nicely inside me, because it showed that with the right technology and the right use of some very basic and primitive equipment, as well as some good quality building techniques, you can actually create a building which will actually withstand the weather, withstand all storms, and can in fact be engineered to help to provide some of its own energy and to create a house which is essentially a land-based space station, providing all of the energy, providing large quantities of the water that's actually required for the domestic setting, and I thought that was amazing. And of course using the land itself to provide large quantities of food. Further on down the line in my life, you can tell that there is a particular train of thought happening here. When I was in school, we had a project to do for our woodwork and metalwork classes that we called CDT, standing for Craft Design and Technology. For that particular class, I assembled a photovoltaic panel and I created a charging system to actually charge a 12-volt battery. Now, this is cool enough, and it should show you that I have a certain quantity of dedication to the subject at hand. Further on down the line, I got one of my jobs after leaving university was working in a solar energy company. That's right, I was the marketing manager of a solar energy company. And funnily enough, our project director, who I had some great conversations with, ended up being the chap who runs or ran at the time the website called Journey to Forever. And he was involved in all kinds of things, including biodiesel, solar cells and solar panels installation, and basically designing for permaculture. And that's given me even more information as to how this could actually occur. So there's this massive train of information going through my life about alternative technology and how to turn this into something which could actually work and actually be viable in the 21st century. Okay, not just in certain sunshine states all over the place, but actually here in the United Kingdom. More recently, I've been learning about wood gas, and I've created myself some little wood gas stoves, and that's taught me different things about different types of fuel that you can use in a solid fuel stove, and basically what you can actually achieve. So that's where my knowledge has come from. It's come from basically my entire life. Solar photovoltaic panels, they become more efficient these days. There's more types on the market. There's been more research and development going into them, so that's something which we can think about as well. There's also space heating technology, some of which has been designed and is actually available here on YouTube for you to be able to find out about. But I haven't yet come across someone who's actually taking all of this technology, and I mean all of this technology, not from the point of view of a hobbyist, but from the point of view of someone who is actually planning on using each and every single tiny bit of it for the purposes of going completely and utterly off-grid. Now, I mean, total off-grid living might be impossible, but for me to be able to work, considering what I do for a living, all I need is basically a telephone, I need an internet connection, I need a computer, that's it. That's all I really need. And so that will provide me with some funds for my personal survival if and when needed, because there's always taxes if you own land, for instance. So some money will have to come to help cover that sort of thing. But essentially I'm planning on doing absolutely everything else straight from the land. This is the right time of my life. I've got the right quantity of wisdom, I've got the right quantity of self-reflection to be able to do this. I'm not interested in doing this purely as a form of hobby. I'm interested in doing this as a full-time thing, okay? Living the lifestyle, not just saying, oh, wouldn't it be great if we lived this lifestyle. from everything that I'll be doing, you'll be working out, okay, which ones you can incorporate into your life, whether you live in a house, whether you live in a flat, whether you live in a bungalow. There's always some little things that we can be doing in order to try and reduce the quantity of dependence that we've got on oil and gas, okay? And remember, everything comes from oil these days. The energy that was used to make the digital camera, which I'm using right now, that came from oil or coal or gas. Okay, some nuclear and some renewables as well, but predominantly it's from energy corporations. So what if we could actually take some of that work basically away from them and start working out how to live in a truly sustainable way? Now, there's lots of other things and lots of other ideas that I'm going to be going into and I'll be telling you all about. You can always speed up the process quite quickly. Go to the link. I don't care if you give me 50 cents. I don't care if you give me $500,000. Ideally, $500,000 would, of course, be nice. But we've got to be practical and we've got to be realistic. So make sure that you realize and you understand that I put an awful lot of thought into this, and I'm prepared to actually take this to the ultimate level. But it's going to take your help as well to make this happen. What you personally are going to get is you're going to get the information which I'm going to be giving you. Once there's enough money put aside into the account for me to be able to go for the land, I'll then get the land, and then I will show you the stages that I'll be going through, using the technology which I'll be talking about and lots of other people have spoken about on various alternative energy type blogs, okay? And I'll be putting this into real hard practice. I'll be working out which ones are the efficient technologies, which ones are the inefficient technologies as a result of research. I'm not going to use the money for any particular form of technology which would basically not work, okay? And I'm going to try and use the cheapest, lowest cost products that I can to try and put this into effect. And I believe very strongly that I can do it. Very, very strongly. Now, the only thing I need from yourself is to subscribe to this video blog, make a donation, click on that link in the information box, and basically we'll take this one step at a time and try and provide the most wonderful and important video blog which has ever been out there here on YouTube. Look forward to speaking to you again next time. Nick Dutch on the Get Me Off Grid video blog.